Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of this Let's Play Aurora 4X. I continued playing for a couple of weeks since the end of the last recording. Not that much has happened actually. We found a new unexplored jump point and are sending the Bifrost to take a look at the system which lies behind the jump point here. In addition, we completed the construction of our sensor fighters and will assign them to our training task group. New fighters Earth. Split off task groups. Is it still the battle task group? Usually I tend to build a training task group. Yeah, it's still battle task group here. So let's assign it there. Battle task group. Move to. Land on assigned. And assign to mothership. Sharnhouse 2 should have some room left. Okay. I'll send the initiative of the battle task group down to 99. Otherwise it's very likely actually that our fighters are not able to catch the battle task group in time. So let's lower their initiative down to 99. So this way the small fighter task group will move last, so essentially they're able to move to the point where the battle task group has already moved during the last 5 seconds, during the last tick. I'm not sure how this determined or what the length of the actual tick is, but the important thing is they will move second and due to it should be able to catch the battle task group. Okay, what else have I done? I've assigned governors to Lunar and Mars, essentially hoping for additional population growth here. And as we can see up here, what I've been afraid of has become true. We are running a deficit and this will not be getting better. Most likely it will be getting worse. Due to it, I want to establish some financial infrastructure on Luna. Essentially, financial infrastructure acts like additional population concerning wealth generation. So every little bit will help us, but in order to build financial centers, we have to have some carbamide and iridium here, 60 for each financial center. And I want to have some additional room for further population growth. At the moment we can support another 7,000 population. That's not good enough, so we'll tell our transport to cargo. No, yeah, should be in cargo still. Exactly. Earth load infrastructure. Unload at Luna. Shouldn't matter. Then load carbamide at Earth. Unload minerals at Luna. Load iridium at Earth. Unload. Yeah, this should be it. I think I'll set up a repeating order after they are done with getting the minerals in place in order to transport 5. I think 5 should be fine. I shouldn't have closed this one. How many free workers do we have? Close to 30,000, so we can, those workers are enough to 300,000. Those workers are enough to work 6 construction facilities, since each takes 50k. workers to run. What else have I done? I reduced our missile construction, since actually we simply can't afford it. We will need the money for more important things. And I've upped the production capacity for the Falke after the Falcon or Falke after the sensor fighters have been built to 100%. Have I done anything else to lower our expenses? No, I didn't. Okay, let's start again with some one-day turns. I'll most likely be... yeah, it worked. They met the battle task group and should be aboard the Shanos 2. Exactly, here they are. I'll be using pause for this recording fairly liberally, I think, because it's not very interesting to see one-day turns ticking by. Oh, cargo task group is already done. So, Earth, load, construction facility, Luna, unload all installations, and repeat this 5 times. And let's continue. It seems like the non-player races on Earth are having their own fleet exercises, and since I'm seeing how cluttered this screen is here at the moment, let's make some adjustments. I don't want asteroids to be shown. The rest is okay. That's fine. I want to be shown asteroids with minerals on them. And the rest, yeah, we'll get into this when we finally find some aliens. Essentially, it shows our weapons range and our sensor range. And here, as I said last time, now we are able to see that there are some ruins, destroyed outposts, fairly small amount of ruins on Mars. And due to this, let's take a look if we've got some additional people for our Xeno teams. Doesn't look like it, no. No, just one of them would be who's not already employed in a different job, so let's continue. And we'll send the cargo task group back to Earth and to refuel. But due to the small distances involved in travel between Luna and Earth, it is essentially used no fuel. We'll get another interrupt. Yeah, there it is. And we found a new system, Hanover. Let's take a look at the system. Potential colony planet. Tad low in oxygen, tad cold, but otherwise doesn't look that bad. Single star system for change. Okay, good to know. Let's jump the Bifrost back. No need to invite unfriendly aliens to fire upon our ship, even though it looked unlikely that there are any aliens in Hanover. Back to Seoul. And let's continue with one-day ticks. New fleets or new ships from the other races on Earth, or the other nations, factions on Earth. Fleet exercises going on, most likely. And we've built 3 additional Sturmvogel fast attack craft. Let's take a look if our carrier even has the capacity to hold them. Available 60, and those 3 will take up those 60, since each weighs 1000 tons, so 20 points of size. This will work out. Quick look at our wealth, still poor, and due to it I will not order additional ships to be built here at the moment, but we want those ships on the training fleet as well. Split them off. Task group, battle task group. Move to and land on Shanos 2. I'm afraid I don't have any captains left with crew training rating, and this is exactly right. This is one of the main reasons why I desperately want additional military academies. We need more officers. But it will be still a fairly long time before a second military academy will be completed. They have successfully landed. Ship zipping around, and I think I'll pause for now and we'll be back if something interesting is happening. Another couple of weeks have passed, nothing much has happened. I'm starting to establish another small colony on Mars, and we found a new jump point in the Sol system, and the Bifrost has been ordered to take a look there. Where it is actually? Ah, out there. Okay. Let's see if our reckless exploration of task group finished of the jump points will lead us to finding some unfriendly aliens. Our training group is starting to run low on fuel, at least the Blüchers. But I'll equalize fuel on this task group, which should give it some more staying power. Yeah, the Shanos are at about 50%, so they should last a little bit longer. Let's see, 32% trained. Yeah, as I've thought, about 1.5 years to train up those crews, and longer for the 2 carriers. There was something about overcrowding, so I have to send in some more infrastructure, most likely to Luna. Mars, actually it's Mars. Okay. So let's interrupt this one and send... first let's take a look at the colonies. The factories have arrived on Luna. We have a decent stockpile of corbomite and iridium, so let's start to work on some financial centers here. 60, it's not important how much I put in here. Let's stick 50 in here for the moment. they still have decent room to grow, but on Mars, and this is a problem if you've not provided enough infrastructure for your people are going to die. The population is not going to grow, but it's gonna die. And essentially it's completely my fault, since I didn't send enough infrastructure up here to support the 400,000 people we sent to Mars. So let's ratify this. Ratify. Cargo. How much installations do we actually have on Earth? Infrastructure 17. That will not be enough. So let's do 2 quick trips here. Load Mars. Unload. Repeat once. Return to Earth. Refuel. And the Bifrost is about to reach the new system. Munich. Let's see what kind of system Munich is. Okay, a potentially dangerous system, since this is a perfect planet, and perfect planets have the nasty habit of being protected by aliens. So either we could be facing a regular non-player race here, or maybe some precursors. I think I didn't fiddle with the NPR generation rate, so there's a 30% chance, I think, that a new non-player race will be generated by the game if I find such a planet as this one. So very interesting. If it is not inhabited and if there are no unfriendly aliens there, it would be a perfect world for us. If we can get some jump gates established, but we don't even have a jump gate builder, so for now we would be unable to do anything about this planet, even if we wanted to. And due to this, I will not send in the Bifrost to take a closer look at this planet, but leave the system immediately again. And back to Seoul. Completed orders, yep. The first jump gate has been established in Hamburg, or to Hamburg, and most likely the gate construct is on the other side of this jump gate and constructing a gate there. And in order to be sure, I'll send the Bifrost to take a look there. Explorers are still busy exploring. We have additional infrastructure on Mars, but as I mentioned, it should still be not enough. Exactly, people are still dying. So we need at least another 10 infrastructure to keep the current number of population. More if we want the population to grow. On Luna it's fine. 1 infrastructure, this will not be enough, so we'll have to wait a little bit and see our people dying. Or watch our people dying. Yeah, Mars is overcrowded, I know. Overcrowded. We've got a new officer, but he does not have any training rating, but we'll still put him on a ship and hope that he might be able to pick up some training rating. What what do we need? Military ships and fighters. Assign. Yeah. Assign. And assign. Any other unemployed officers? No. Let's take a look if we've got any new civilian administrators. No. Any new scientists? None as well. Okay. But we can take a look at Hamburg now. I can do it easier. Yeah, there it is. Happily building a new jump gate. This is nice too. I'll keep the Bifrost in here for now, because Hamburg had a potential planet. Yeah, a decent candidate for colonization, but it was fairly far out. Hamburg C, how far is Hamburg 3? 3.6 billion kilometers. Yeah, we'll see. If they establish a jump gate here, I can still make up my mind if we'll use this planet or if we don't. Most likely I first send in some explorers and take a look if there are any minerals there. In Seoul I have no qualms about establishing additional colonies to provide additional growth for my population, but setting up a colony in Hamburg would mean some fairly serious traveling times and thus fuel consumption, which will be another shortage which we'll sooner or later experience most likely. So I think it's not worth it unless there's something interesting on those planets, mainly minerals. And I think I'll pause again and we'll be back if something interesting is happening. We found a new jump point in Seoul, and one of the officers we've assigned earlier who had no training bonus got one, and as far as I know and from what I've seen, if officers on a ship which is doing a certain mission, like in this case training, there's an increased likelihood that they will raise their skills or their skill with which is associated with this training. And due to this I try to assign even unskilled officers. Why did it stop? Oh, okay. Unskilled officers to our training fleet, training ships. In addition, I moved 20 additional infrastructure up to Mars, so they've stopped complaining about unfriendly living conditions, or hostile living conditions even. We've got some fuel problems again. And concerning this unrest, there are essentially two options to lower the unrest. First off, get rid of the reason for the unrest. In this case, send in more infrastructure. Another point might be send in more ships to provide more protection, but in this case it was infrastructure, and this was what I actually did. The second one would be sending troops there, ground troops, which are able to lower the unrest, kind of brute force approach is a tad hard, but the military will suppress the unrest. The population will not dare to voice their dissatisfaction with our rule. Okay, we're starting to get some more serious fuel issues here. We can equalize fuel once again, I think, but we'll have to refuel the fleet at Earth fairly soon. Yeah, it's taken the Bifrost quite some time to get to the new jump point. We got a new officer, but it seems like he's just skilled in diplomacy. But let's take a look. No, just increased diplomacy skill. Okay. Due to the fairly good speed of our geo-explorers, we've covered quite a distance here, and this is one of the reasons why our Dinosaur 2 has to return to Earth and refuel, due to its conditional order to grab new fuel when it reaches 50%. This is done without any intervention from me. Increase, okay. Yeah, let's send our training fleet back to Earth and to refuel. Battle task group and task force training. Earth. Refuel, resupply. One of our ships had a component breakdown here, but has had more than enough supplies to repair it. So there was no larger problem here. The Bifrost is getting close. Battle task group has refueled. And off you go again. Yeah. Another, at least a binary. Yeah, a binary. Terrestrial planet, trace, fairly small, even smaller, large moon actually. Decent number of asteroids. And no planets or moons at all around Bon B. So the sun is essentially of no consequence for us. And after a couple of more weeks, we've completed our first research, in this case into better EM sensor sensitivity. We'll do something with those labs quite soon. And here's one of the things I actually consider an advantage of starting with more than one faction on Earth. It's that the other factions, as we've already seen here in Hamburg, exactly, are likely to have some gate construction ships up and running, and this Chinese gateway ship here looks very much like another constructor. Therefore, it's very likely that we'll soon see another jump gate here. The drawback is naturally we have no control about where the jump gates are being built, but getting free jump gates is nice. Let's take a look at our monetary situation. We managed to slow down the decline a little bit, but not by much. So we'll have to do something more drastic here. I have to put some research into expanded civilian economy, which will essentially boost our tax rate. We have 9 labs, we have no specialists, but I will cancel this research. Put the specialist in there to continue with the research. No, let's do the other guy first in order to expand our economy. How much or how long will this take? Too long. Too long. So we'll have to cut back, or not add, but lower. We have to cut back on our other research projects and focus here. I will even cancel this one and use the somewhat better scientist. Despite having no bonus in this field, she will get at least her natural bonus to somewhat speed up this research. So yeah, create, yes, I'm sure, and take one lab away and assign it back to our sensor guy. Again, a girl. Create, yes, close. In the meantime, I've sent some construction factories and minerals to Mars as well, and started on the construction of financial centers here as well. But 84 construction, it's not much. Even on Luna, where we have tried to build financial centers for quite some time now, we have not even we've just completed a quarter of the first financial center here. So essentially we will want a higher population and more construction factories in order to speed up the building of our financial centers. The drawback naturally is that each construction factory we remove from Earth will lead to a lower construction rate on Earth. So this is not very nice and will present some problems for the foreseeable future for us. Since once we run out of money, our research will, I'm not sure if it even stops, but it will get at least worse. We will not be able to build any ships as far as I know. Yeah, it was a mistake essentially not to pick this civilian wealth expansion tech in the beginning. I think I've never really run into truly negative wealth for quite some time, and due to this I'm not very sure what will actually happen here. But it looks like we will find out. And let's take another break here. Okay, we've reached the end of our first year. Not much has happened here in the meantime. Let's take a look at our current development. Okay, we are trying to expand our maintenance facilities, but just managed to add 400 tons during the 1 year. We will need 16k for our bigger ships, so we will have to do something about the rate of construction here. Let's see, when will some of those projects be finished? The sector commands will be the first one to be finished, and essentially most likely we'll have to put the 25% freed up from it into the maintenance facility. Otherwise, once our ships return to the docks for some overhauls, they will not be able to service here. Progress, it looks more like even 2 years for our smaller craft before they are completely trained up. Okay, well, let's take a look at some other things. Research. Another skill up here. October, so about 10 months till we get some better text here. So it should be it might be enough to save us from running into a real deficit here, but we'll see. Growth rate, available workers is looking good. We even have some additional infrastructure here, but since the growth rate is at 11% already, there's not much use in shipping out more. Well, we will ship out some more to Luna, but it might be that due to the environmental characteristics, tough word, of Luna, we will not get above those 10.5%. But I'll set up a little additional infrastructure delivery to Luna between recordings. What else do we have here? Mining, yeah, looks decent. All our minerals are actually, our stockpiles are expanding. We will not use those free slipways due to our monetary problems here. 2 new transports will be completed soon, and the rest will take some time. The Blüchers will be the next ones after this. We still have no interesting or additional interesting officers. I employed 2 of them in the meantime, but nothing to write home about really. No civilian administrator and scientists, as we have seen on the other screen. Nothing new here. We found no additional jump points, and yeah, I think 21 is the last jump point which haven't been explored. No, that's 3 left. So there might be additional jump points. We will see. I sent Bifrost to take a look at the gate builder on the other side of the Hamburg gate. Maybe there's a gate on the other side now. I'll do this between recordings as well. So yeah, I think that's it. Thank you for now. Bye bye.